Welcome everyone to an awesome showdown between Omen as Ogre and Cathay going up against DVD Captain Morgan as the Ogre Kingdoms. So we're going to be playing on Kislev Troll Country, a particular popular map here for the multiplayer scene and land battles. But in the front we are going to be having 2 units of the Noblar Trappers backed up by 5 units of the cheap Noblars. Over here on the right we are going to have 3 of the very powerful Saber-Tusk packs. And in the back, 4 units of the Leadbelchers. The big bad boys here with the hand cannons, 200 range of 94 armor-piercing missile strength. 3 units of the Ogre Ball dual weapons, giving that bonus versus infantry, and 90 weapon strength to destroy that front line. So for the hero, we are going to have the Butcher of the Great Moor, the magic caster here with Blood Gruel as the passive, the spells of Troll Guts and Bone Crusher, and the ability of the extra ingredients. The Lord Choice is going to be the Tyrant, the man here with the Warhammer, and looking like that fantastic scimitar there on the left. He is going to be having snacks, as well as the Arse Belcher ability, one of the best named abilities in the game, and then also Thunder Mace. So, great Ogre build here, and for Grand Cathay in the back, a sneaky unit of the Jade Lancers, 2 units here in the back in weight, and for the Lord Choice in the sky on a great Longmar, we are going to have the Dragon-Blooded Lord of Yin, here with the Jade Amulet, Ancestral Warriors, and then the Missile Mirror. In the front, we are going to have bucket loads of Peasant Spearmen, 5 in total. It is like 4 of the Jade Warrior Halberds in the back, and 2 units of the Grand Cannons. In the trees, just poking themselves out, are going to be the Crane Gunners. So there's going to be 275 range, 38 armor-piercing, shield-breaking missile strength, which is going to be really good here up against the Ogre Kingdoms, and they're going to be backed up by Peasant Archers, and I believe a couple of crossbows. So fantastic stuff here from both sides, lots of layers here on the force, not too many at the front, but we could push forward here with the Jade Warrior Halberds and really bolster, but we do need to protect the back here. We do actually have one of the Jade Warriors triple silver chevron there for the sword and shield variant in the tree, so they're going to be waiting 48 melee defense, considering they also have no yin and yang buff. That's pretty impressive. Oh, actually maybe they do, it's a little bit hard to see here, but it's like they are going to be getting that buff. So charging forward, the Noblar Trappers, both getting into range here. They're going to be getting those throwing knives ready to go here, those traps to slow down the Peasant Long Spearmen, and potentially dissipate a lot of the damage here from the Ogre Ball dual weapons. Oh, look at the cannons destroying the Leadbelchers here in the back. Only 7 models left as they hide and run here with their tails between their legs. They're going to be getting out of here pretty damn quickly. Yeah, cannons are really going to be feeding through the Leadbelchers down to 4 models. My god, they've been destroyed here in the front. Ready to go. Peasant Spearmen charging, foaming at the mouth as they get slapped up here by the big dual weapon Ogre Balls. And unfortunately here for Peasant Long Spearmen, they're probably not going to be having a great day, but they're going to get some good cost efficiency. They're going to be taking down Noblar Trappers, Ogre Balls, and the rest as the Tyrants. And here also the Butcher going to be fighting in combat. So both here, one does heal in combat, the other one heals with casting, so it's going to be lots of good fun here for the Ogres in the front. They're going to be doing some good snacks on the way. So in the middle we are going to have Peasant Long Spearmen up against dual weapons, and dissipating the damage are going to be the Noblars. Just mass infantry, 160 models getting in the way here of the Peasant Long Spearmen, fighting up against those big dual weapons. So the Spearmen are going to hold the front line. We have Jade Warrior Halberds in the back, and lovely work here. We are going to get in the back with Captain Morgan and these Saber-Tusk packs. And these bad boys do count as large, but they're going to be tearing and ripping apart the cannon infantry in the back. The crews are in big need of dire help. Now we do see the Saber-Tusk packs, they are going to rampage, fighting here in the middle up against Jade Warrior Halberds. We do charge in here with the Dragon-Blooded Lord. It's going to be doing a pretty decent break there in the back. In the trees, we do see the Crane Gunners getting ready to shoot. They're going to be firing into the front line, and would you look at this? A summon of the Ancestral Warriors in the front, the Jade Warrior Halberds of old, going to be charging forward. Look at those weapons. Love the way they have this stormy effect as they charge into the front of the battlefield with Jade Lancers on the approach, recharging up against the big Leadbelchers. So they're going to be thrusting their cannons into melee combat here up against the heavily armored heroes of the Jade Lancers. It's going to be a pretty good fight here. Not much armor piercing, but 90 weapon strength in total for these Leadbelchers. These bad boys are going to be firing in for the flank straight through the lines of this mass cavalry unit, and are going to be taking them down in droves. Now they're going to get compromised here by the Jade Warrior Halberds, fighting pretty strong here in the front. Big cannons bonking straight down on the forehead of the halberds. But they're going to be holding pretty true, pretty strong indeed. So the earlier Leadbelchers that got destroyed very quickly are going to be returning with 2 models. That's actually quite impressive. I'm sure maybe a couple of spells did get a bit of healing, and now they're going to return to the battlefield. In the front, halberds backed up by breaking peasant long spearmen left, right and centre. These peasants certainly took a big brunt of an ogre charge, but they are going to be breaking, and they can break with hero in their name, as we see the halberds now coming through and finishing off the big job. So in the middle, can't quite see what this is. And so we are going to get a second summon. Look at that. Fantastic stuff. As we get the Stormy Ancestral Warriors charging perhaps into the rear side of the Leadbelchers to help up against the Dragon-Blooded Lord of Yin. In the middle, we see the nice red effect here of the Noblar Trappers. They're going to be slowing down the forces of the Jade Warriors. It looks like that's not going to last for long, and the Noblar Trappers are going to be falling. Nice rear charge there from the Dragon-Blooded Lord, and looks like we are going to be pushing off the Ogre Balls. In the trees, Saber Tusks fighting here up against the Jade Warrior Sword and Shield, as they're going to be charging downtown here to help up against their halberds. In the back, we do have the Butcher of the Great Moor. He's going to be fighting with the Tyrant, who's going to be breaking the Grand Cannon crews in the back, pushing this off the battlefield. Very smart stuff in here. And in the back, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 units of range are going to be recollected here by Omen, pushing back to the front line with very weak units of peasant mobs. They're not looking particularly too happy. The long spearmen, for the majority, are all going to be under 25% HP. Halberds have been pushed away from the battlefield, and as we can see, a bit of a macro look. We are going to be shattering Leadbelchers. Noblar's going to be breaking. More Leadbelchers breaking. It's just absolute amok here across the battlefield. Now, a very healthy unit of the halberds going to be challenging up against the double Noblars here in the front. They're going to get their pokey sticks, because just remember, they're not gobbos, but they certainly fight like gobbos. They're going to be getting the front, little pokey sticks, doing the best damage they can, but the Jade Warriors are just going to be too armoured here for the bad boys. And yeah, they're going to be rigorously trained for sure. And I really like this as well. Jade Warriors, or should we say actually the Jade Lancers, coming over the top of the Jade Warriors, doing some good damage up against these Noblars. Cannon crews have been beaten down, peasant long spearmen running away. We do get some return here of the Saber Tusk packs. 95 speed, and they will also rampage, which can help a little bit. The crane gunners are going to be a little bit unawares here. The little snipers that could in the back are just going to be waiting for the oncoming Saber Tusks. We can see them here in the distance. They're going to be charging down. No, it looks like they're not going to see it. And here we go. The Saber Tusks do engage in melee combat. They're going to slam in from the side, and sadly, that is probably going to be the end there of the crane gunners. So, very nice stuff here for the Noblar Trappers. They're going to be pushing off the Peasant Archers. These bad boys are going to be falling with the Peasant Spearmen here, yet again in droves. This is going to be mass of them just falling to the Ogre attrition. Now, the Ogre Ball dual weapons fighting up against the Halberds. It's going to be tit for tat here. Anti-large up against anti-infantry. It's going to be a pretty good fight here with the Tyrant nice and close by. Leadbelchers returning to the battlefield. A couple of Noblar Trappers, but the Dragon-Blooded Lord is looking pretty healthy. This is the scary element. 5,100 health here for the Lord. And for the Tyrant as well, pretty healthy. I think in hand-to-hand combat, you've got to give it to the Tyrant. I think he could probably take on the Dragon-Blooded Lord. Halberds in the trees, they're going to be still fighting pretty strong. They're going to be at 3,400 HP as they take down the Big Butcher. Now, he can heal himself. We do have Troll Guts, and then we also have Bone Breaker. And this is a beautiful blob here for a Bone Breaker for sure. This would certainly rout this unit pretty down quickly. In the backside, very healthy unit of Halberds, backed up by a less healthy unit of the Peasant Long Spearmen, but we have some Noblar Trappers on the horizon. More Noblars on the battlefield. Tyrant is just causing absolute mayhem here up against these Jade Warriors. Noblar Trappers are going to be throwing those knives, and more Halberds coming. So for the majority, quite nicely done here by Omen. Peasant Long Spearmen going to be pushing off the Leadbelchers. In the back here, Saber Tusks quite nicely again here for DBD Captain Morgan, going to be pushing off the Jade Lancers. Very good pushing off the edge of the map. You can see both of these players, both played in Shortbeard League, both going to be having very good experience here in the multiplayer scene for land battles. So Peasant Archers are going to be returning to the battlefield. Halberds here, really nice work here coming from Omen. Going to be collecting a lot of the troops, putting them together, giving these bonuses of the harmony, and then try and see if they can push forward as a group. Fortunately, the Jade Warriors Warriors, they are going to get feasted upon today. The Ogres were hungry, and they came here for snacks. And their little boys, they can run all they like, but snacks are ready here for the big Ogre balls. They're going to be charging into the backside. It's going to be a bit of a two-pronged attack. Now, we are going to have the others that are, fortunately, are going to be running. We have broken here with the Butcher in the front, getting kind of charged in from behind here by the Lord of Yin. He's going to be running away with the big hammer on his shoulder. I love that walk, but he's going to get slain here, and the Dragon-Blooded Lord can fly victorious. So 2 of the halberds, 3 of the halberds here in the main battlefield need to come back and help with the forces in the rear. So it looks like the Jade Warriors do return. Very brave indeed. They've been butchered by many, many of the Ogres. So in the middle we have 9 fighting and actually shattering the Peasant Archers. So nice work there in the back. It's going to be a big chase here. The Peasant Archers shooting through the trees up against the Noblar Trappers. If they break the Noblar Trappers, that's a pretty good piece of work. It's pretty much going to be the Tyrant versus the world at that moment. So it looks like we do break here with the Peasant Archers, but we can charge forward with the Jade Warriors. It'd be very interesting to see if they actually get the Harmony buff when these bad boys come through. I imagine the game's not going to be able to recognize. There we go, we do actually get the Harmony buff. That's really interesting because the game can't recognize this as shattered, and that also they're going to be getting the Harmony buff. So they are going to get the added leadership and melee defense, which can actually be up to 12 melee defense. But no matter, we are going to charge through here with the Tyrants, and as the name said, he's just going to be causing destruction here. And yeah, the Jade Warriors, they've had enough, and I don't blame them. That's an awful lot of Ogres there to deal with. So in the sky, the Dragon-Blooded Lord is going to be flying around. We are going to be returning with a lot of the troops, and that's going to be 2 halberds plus some anti-large long spearmen, some Jade Warriors coming back here. War Peasant Spears are returning. We have shattered the Noblars. A Noblar Trap is getting pushed off by Jade Warriors. That could be quite costly. I don't believe that's going to be the best move you could have made. Some more Peasant Long Spearmen are going to be returning, but they're not super healthy. So in the middle, Noblar Trappers backed up here by Ogre Balls. Definitely want to keep these together. You want to dissipate a lot of the damage that could be imposed on the Ogre Balls. You want to be taking that there with the Noblar Trappers. So good cycle charge here from Omen with the Lord. Going to be getting in, doing the damage, and then getting out again. Now what is this going to be here? Didn't see what that was. That is going to be Missile Mirror that has been activated. That's a very interesting one there on the Noblar Trappers. So if they do throw any of those knives, they're actually going to be taking it back, which is going to be quite an interesting play. So what is this going to be? I didn't quite see what that was, actually. But it's like there was some sort of ability here from the Tyrant. I think he used his explosion spell, actually. But I think he did more damage up against his Noblar Trappers than actually the enemy. So in the middle, we are going to have the Jade Halberds fighting here. We are going to get Massacre, which can cause terror here for the Lord Choice. Quite like that usage. It's going to be giving base weapon damage and then armor-piercing output on top as well, giving 550 armor-piercing weapon strength. And of course, great work here. We are going to be cycling the Lord Choice through into the back of the Ogre Balls, and that's really smart. Push off these entities, make sure they shatter, or do not come back. Halberds can hold in the middle here, up against the Tyrant. It is going to be balance of power here, pushing into the Cathay favor for a super excellent game here between these two. Really demonstrating some great game knowledge and great late game management. So Dismember is going to be used here to slow down all of the entities, pin them in so the Tyrant can thump up against the Dragon-Blooded Lord. So going to be fighting quite nicely. The hammer comes down. We could maybe see this scimitar getting in some action. It's got some very, very sharp end bits on it there. That looks quite meaty indeed. But we're going to be fighting. Balance of power is going to be heavily shifting here. That is going to be the end. GG's well played to both of these legends. What a fantastic game. Now, both these boys have been playing... or should I say both these gentlemen have been playing in the short bid league for quite a while, and it's absolutely fantastic to see them put on such a performance. So we can see the Dragon-Blooded Lord coming in at 28 kills, 700 damage value, so pretty damn good there, with 800 and 250 there for the Grand Cannons. 450 for the Crane Gunners, with 910 and 260 for the Jade Lancers. So the Halberds, 350, 900, 1,600, and 1,475, with the Jade Warriors coming in at 750. So we saw 880, as well as 280, 260 for the Triple Peasant Bows, with the 340, 380, 530, 130, and 181 for 111 kills there from the Peasant Long Spearman. Yeah, a really nice build here coming in from Omen. Quite a fun one indeed. I do like to see Crane Gunners where I can, but you know, sadly they're very easy to compromise. They're very difficult to protect, and for the most part they can be very good, but otherwise, yeah, they can suffer. They pay for mass armor piercing. Do they do really well here? Perhaps. I think up against Iron Guts they can be quite nice, but otherwise, they do suffer. But 1,200 for the Tyrants. Yeah, really like this pick here from Captain Morgan. Super fun pick with 880 there for the Butcher of the Great Moor. 51, 580, 630, and 330 for the Quadruple Leadbelchers. I thought these bad boys really might put on a punching, but those Grand Cannons in the back put an absolute burn on the boys. Really ripped 4 down to 3 very quickly, and then they just got compromised. There was just so many elements coming forward. And also here, the Jade Lancers are a big problem for the Saber Tusks. They do great armor piercing, but they do have 100 armor. And of course, when they do get that charge bonus, they can do some very good damage indeed. But 1.1, 250, and 1,350. Saber Tusks, incredible in this matchup. Fantastic stuff. 580, 200, and 560 there for the Ogre Ball dual weapons. 388, 380 there for the Noblar Trappers, with the regular Noblars coming in at 260, 250, 150, 300, and 118. So, I hope all of you enjoyed this. If you did, please smash that like button. It would really help here on the channel. Feel free to leave a comment down below, but of course, do be respectful with your comments, and I do try to respond to as many as I possibly can. If you haven't already, do feel free to subscribe. Check out that description for all my other social media platforms, including that Twitch, Twitter, and then also that Discord. So I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon.